All right, welcome back to Chotero. I'm David,
I'm Gary.
and we're trying to get Gary larger hands so he can actually shuffle the cards in his
Yeah,
deck.
we're going. I want to go from this size to this size. Ooh.
Anyways, this is going to be a reading on Comrade Krasnov there.
Yes.
So we discussed it. I did a video the other day on this and discussed on our live too. There are reports that a former Russian military intelligence agent, basically KGB, said that they had recruited Donald Trump back in 1987
Yes.
as an asset to the Russian intelligence agency. And this would correlate with the time that Trump suddenly was taking full page ads out in newspapers denouncing NATO, which aligned with Russian talking points back then. And then you can look at Trump's relationship with Russia or USSR at the time. I keep saying Russia. It was the USSR at the time until the USSR fell and Russia came from that. It was the main country out of that. And Trump's family ties to Russia throughout the 90s and the aughts and 2010 and beyond. To the point where Trump had bankrupted so many things, U.S. banks wouldn't give him any money, but Russian banks or Russians were giving him all sorts of money. And from Hillary Clinton pointing out all his connections to Russia, Nancy Pelosi pointing out his connections to Russia, Scaramucci, who was his communications director for like about 12 days, pointed out that H.R. McMaster's, John Kelly, and
James Mattis
and Mr. Mattis, all four-star generals, couldn't figure out why Russia held such sway over Donald Trump. If you say that Donald Trump's an asset of Russian intelligence, it simplifies everything greatly and explains everything right down to Helsinki. So
Trump certainly has a fascination with Putin
and strongmen in general.
It's strongmen in general, true. And it boggles the mind because we were talking about this on the live stream that we did yesterday afternoon, where like with Ukraine, he's not negotiating with Zelensky. He's just negotiating with Putin.
Yeah, and they're carving up Ukraine between the two of them, and they're not including Ukraine in the conversations. And it's not like Ukraine's losing this war.
No, exactly. They're giving Russia everything Russia can handle and then some. I mean, to the point where Putin's called in North Korean troops to feed the meat grinder and to give him ammunition
and donkeys.
And donkeys, apparently. What frightens me is what Kim Jong-un is getting in return for all of this.
Yeah.
Russian being a nuclear country.
Well, North Korea has their own nuclear program too.
Yeah, but it's very, very crude. And I imagine that there's maybe some ICBM technology or other delivery technology that may be finding its way over to North Korea.
You could just send them food and Kim Jong-un would be happy.
Well, yeah, if he didn't eat it all. We'll have to see how much weight the man's gained since he started sending troops over. But it's very frightening, but it explains a lot. Is it Occam's razor the most
simplest explanation is the most likely explanation?
Exactly, and that's the simplest explanation: is that this guy's compromised.
Yeah,
and that it explains a lot of things. Start making sense if you take that assumption.
Yeah, you get out of the deep state conspiracy theory, the most unlikely thing to happen, the most improbable things happening, and get them like, oh, well, yeah, if you assume he's a Russian asset, do things now make sense?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes.
Yeah. I mean, Putin understands how to rig an election.
Sure.
Elon Musk has an affinity for Putin as well. Hey, you get someone who knows how to do it and someone who has the assets in the back door into it, or the two people, because even Trump's got assets within the election process that can open the door for the people that want to insert the code. I'm not big into conspiracy theories, but it's like it's entirely possible that if you want to accept that Trump's a Russian asset, a lot of things can happen that you wouldn't normally expect to happen. And we're experiencing a lot of things happening that you wouldn't normally expect to happen. And it doesn't make a lot of sense, but Occam's razor, if you assume that Trump is compromised and now a Russian asset or has been a Russian asset, things start to make a lot of sense.
Right.
It's Dave was in a relationship once with a girl who lied about everything.
Yep.
And it would drive you batty trying to work the logic. When she would tell a story or explain a situation that happened, it wouldn't make any sense, and you drive yourself batty trying to figure out how this made sense. And then Dave finally hit on it. It's like, well, just turn it on its ear. Assume that she's lying to me. Right. And then it's like, okay, so instead of I got fired from my job because my boss...
She would tell me she quit her job. She had all these bills. Like, I quit my job today. Why? I just wanted to. That makes no sense. God, you're stupid. You're foolish. It's like, okay, instead of her quitting her job, let's assume she got fired from her job. Okay, that would make sense why it would happen. And it would explain why she doesn't want to cut through that store anymore on the way to the mall. And then it's like, a lot of the stuff happened after we were no longer dating. And it's like, oh, because stuff would show up at her house that, like, where did this come from? Oh, I bought it. Where the heck did you get the money for that? Oh, my family gave me gift cards to the store. When? For my birthday. How come you never mentioned that before? I didn't think you needed to know. It's like none of this made sense. And then it's like, well, let's assume she stole it. Oh, that explains why we never heard about the gift cards this and why all this stuff shows up at the house. Yeah, stealing. And then she got caught, which is why she got fired. Okay, yeah, simply. This is simple.
Yeah, exactly. So go to Occam's razor sometimes and just don't assume anything and what makes the most sense. And don't be afraid to turn it on its ear and say, if I turn it on its ear, does it make more sense? Do the pieces fall into place? And that's
by the way, her personality was so much like Trump's. That's why Trump triggers me so much, because I've seen this show before.
Yeah, it triggers me too, because I had to go through that too.
Yeah.
Anyways, for entertainment,
it's always collateral damage.
For entertainment purposes only. Do you want to start this? Or you want me to start it?
You can start.
Okay, so let's look at the energy around Putin and Trump. Does Russia have the goods on Trump? Does it explain why?
Is Trump an asset?
Yeah. What do I need to know about Trump and Putin, and is Trump an asset? What's the energy? Queen of Swords is the hey, that came flying out. Queen of Swords card is the foundation of the reading. So it's the Queen of Swords is a matter of fact. There's no emotions. This is what you did. We know you did it. You know you did it. There's no denying that it was done, and we're going to hold you accountable. Trump has never been held accountable to anyone before, but
in his life
makes you wonder. Maybe Putin's got the goods and is holding him accountable. It's one of those things that Dave's mentioned in the past with Trump. Once you do him a favor, or he calls in a favor for you, you're on the hook for the rest of your life. And this is probably the same thing that's happening to him now. Russia's starting to call in the favors for all of the money we gave you in the past. The challenge is the Five of Cups, this sorrow, the feeling of basically this could be, you got me dead to rights. Yeah,
a little bit of regret on your decision making.
Yeah, exactly. This is not a happy person. This is not a person holding his head up high. This is like someone, oh man, I'm totally busted. Like the P tape, the alleged P tape.
PP tape. Don't say P, say PP.
PP tape.
Yeah. PP tape.
Don't show that to Melania, she's not going to be happy. She won't understand. Oh God. Energy underneath this is the Ten of Swords. Yeah, we will put an end to you. We will put an end to your political career, end to all your money. This is the end of the cycle. And do what you're going to do, or we're going to make it very painful for you. Yes.
But it just do it exactly. If you don't do what we tell you to, we'll just let everybody know what you did.
Yeah.
That's the compromise right there. Now the other thing is Trump hasn't really been great at delivering for Putin. So you can imagine that Russia is going to up the ask. Like,
yeah,
we want more now.
We're seeing this in the negotiations with Ukraine, where it's basically Trump and Putin deciding what Zelensky's conditions for ending the war are going to be. And there's actually some GOP congressmen that are standing up for Zelensky, saying that's bullshit. It's basically you're blaming the victim. In the past, I got the Page of Wands. New actions being taken, new messaging being brought forth. Remember back in the election cycle where Putin was saying, Trump, you've people have done favors for you, and you said you were going to do this on day one, was end this war. And there was a whole lot of speculation. It's like, what the hell is he talking about? Is Russia out there supporting Trump? Well, it sure seems like it might be. Yeah, that was about the time they published all those nudes of Melania on the Russian newspapers, right?
Yeah.
Current energy is the Eight of Pentacles. Hard at work. It's time for you to start providing those things of value. Like Dave said, he's under-delivered for Russia the first 4 years. Russia's going to make sure that he's delivering the goods now, and this could be part of that whole ending the war in Ukraine. It gives Putin a way out that makes it look like he won.
Exactly.
And it may involve some wealth coming back, probably maybe to both sides.
Yeah, because he gets to hold onto the land and the resources that illegally claimed.
Now, Zelensky has said that he'd be willing to give up his presidency if it meant peace in Ukraine and Ukraine's immediate acceptance into NATO, which is probably not what Trump and Putin want.
Exactly.
Overarching energy is the King of Cups. This is probably Putin playing the long game, just keeping the emotions in check. So you've got a king and a queen card. Hey, I'm in charge here. You're simply not in charge, and Trump's a very emotional person, and Putin is very cold. And this is in this case, it's a very cold and calculating approach to this. I'm not going to let you get my ire up. Lesson to be learned is Seven of Cups. Not everything is what you see. Don't believe everything you see. And if you're compromised, they're going to throw all sorts of illusions and misdirection at you. Look at this shiny thing. Look at the dancing monkey. Don't look at the organ grinder. Look at the dancing monkey. Outcome star. Ooh, that's interesting. Outcome is a star. Well, what? Starlink? What this? Because the star tends to be like the best for democracy in the United States is how we've been kind of seeing it in the past.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I mean,
in this reading,
in this reading, is he compromised? Maybe what it means is if you play ball with us, you can still be the star that you think you are. The president of the United States and all the fame and glory that comes with that. Maybe that's kind of the, if you're doing a kind of a carrot and a stick, the carrot maybe we'll let you continue being president of the United States.
Who's okay? Look at it from the perception of the reading. Who's the most important spy that Russia has right now? Who benefits Russia more with their ability to change the world stage than Donald Trump?
Musk. Who?
Donald Trump.
Oh,
No,
okay.
nobody could do more than Donald Trump to help Russia right now.
That's
Nobody.
true. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, but you've got Musk too, and Donald he doesn't want to get outshone by Musk on the world stage.
What makes you think that Musk isn't already compromised too?
He may be. Maybe we should look at that too.
Yeah, right now, this is Trump's time to shine, as it were.
Yeah, yeah. That's
voluntarily.
That may be it. It's because, like you said in the beginning, he's underdelivered. Maybe that is It's like it is your time to shine for us now, pal.
Yeah, I want to know, will Trump deliver to Putin's satisfaction? Will Comrade Krasnov deliver to Putin's satisfaction? You got the Two of Wands here and crossed by the double card. It's having expectations for the corruption of Donald Trump impacting the government. So yeah, this would be like NATO and the U.S. government here. I think we're talking about NATO. That's Donald Trump's biggest thing he can give Putin now is harming NATO. Trump has messaged about how NATO nations aren't funding NATO as much as they should. He's casting judgment on NATO, like, the U.S. doesn't want anybody new in NATO. We call the shots at NATO type of thing. Overarching energy is the Nine of Coins. It's all about money. This is about Trump. What Putin wants Trump to do more than anything else is defang NATO, and he's going about it with money. The lesson to be learned is the Three of Cups, but Trump hasn't been able to do that. NATO is, if anything, was it Finland and Sweden or Norway and Finland joined NATO?
Yeah. Because
of this, expect another country to do it. NATO's actually gotten stronger despite Trump.
Eight Pentacles.
Yeah, and then the outcome is the Eight of Coins here. All Trump can really do is try and cause financial chaos with NATO and the Ukraine war by saying the United States isn't going to fund it. But is he delivering? He's not really delivering to what Putin wants, because Ukraine isn't folding and EU is stepping up. And if anything else, you're creating a new power structure. Trump was supposed to, since Trump is the great divider, his job was to divide NATO and isolate NATO. The whole right-wing politics that are happening throughout the world, especially in Europe, is to isolate the NATO countries so they don't come to the defense of other NATO countries. Right. You can divide and conquer, but that's not what's happening. What you see happening is that France and Germany are coming together to unite and become the new leaders of NATO, leaving the United States in a secondary role.
Yep. So is Musk compromised? Okay, so the Queen of Swords, we now have the King of Swords. You got to be a little stronger with Musk here. We know what you did. You know what you did. And there's no denying what's been done. Oh, and look, and what you did is just as bad as what Trump was doing. These are not great cards.
No.
But Trump did this. It doesn't matter what he did. It's what you did.
Well, going back to the whole thing, the original reason why they got Trump in there was that there was a USSR program to get American financial people or American entrepreneurs into Russian control. Is there anybody bigger than Elon Musk in the United States to control? Right. He is basically this generation's version of Donald Trump, except that Musk has way more money than Trump ever did. Trump represented himself as like this really, really wealthy person. Elon Musk is a really, really wealthy person. Elon Musk is everything Donald Trump wants to be when he grows up.
So in 1985, the KGB had updated a secret personality questionnaire distributed amongst its officers, instructing them to target influential Western figures for potential collaboration.
Yeah, and Elon Musk fits that in spades.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they stopped the program.
Exactly. Why would you ever stop?
The energy underneath it, the Seven of Swords. Hey, we helped just.
He's a spy, dude. Your card's you don't get thrown anymore. That dude's a spy. He's even a bigger. He is Donald Trump's bigger. He's Donald Trump 2.0. The bigger, the better replacement.
Which explains why you've got the king instead of the queen.
That's what I'm saying.
You're even worse. This guy's even worse. This is not. These are not great cards. In the past, King of Cups. We've been patient with you. We've been watching what you've been doing too. That was the overarching energy, was the King of Cups. In the past, they've been doing that with Trump. They're playing the long game. Current energy is the Chariot. Yeah, we're going to move forward. You are now going to be supporting us, and we'll make you look like you're a victorious person, but you're going to move our agenda forward the way we want you to move it forward. Overarching energy is the Wheel of Fortune. Anything's possible. Don't think that we're not going to come back for more later. There'll be more requests. You just don't know what they're going to be yet. Lesson be learned. Lover's card. Agreements. You made agreements with us. We told you what was going to happen. And you've made agreements, and you need to honor your agreements. Ace of Pentacles. Here's things of wealth. Nice. Here's a nice big carrot for you. You just need to do what you're told to do, which in this case is spreading that far right messaging to normalize far right talking points.
Yeah, they're bringing oligarchy to the United States. They're turning the United States government into the Russian government.
Yep.
Then they can be allies and make even more money.
Yeah, it's if he's not a spy or he hasn't been turned, for example, they have definitely he's under their influence. They are giving him that ability to become even more wealthy and more influential, which is what an oligarch wants. More. Yeah. It doesn't matter to them that they could never spend all of their money if they tried. That's not the point of it. I want more than anybody else.
Yeah. It's an ego thing at that point.
Yeah.
Who has the biggest super yacht? Who's got the hottest trophy wife?
Yeah.
Who's got the biggest, most plush mansion out there? And how many? It's wanton excess.
Yeah.
No, yeah, your cards would tell me that Elon's absolutely compromised, and Elon is Trump.
Yeah,
and Elon's amplifying Trump's message, and so entertainment purposes only.
Yes. But what do we know, right?
Don't doubt that. For Carter, U.S. intelligence agencies, are they monitoring this situation here? Because they got to know too. If you and I can figure it out, what do you think? They've had this thing figured out for 10 years. So Foundation of the Readings, the double card, the Empress. I think they're aware.
Yeah.
They're spying on him. They know Elon's corrupt. They're monitoring his behavior. They know he's a spy. They know who he's a spy for. It's almost like what they're doing with Elon. I think they're monitoring his finances, his spending, where he's putting his time and efforts into it, because what that'll do is allow them to see where his influence is going, who all's wrapped up with him, basically, that again, that I forget what they call that, the string thing they have on all the TV crime shows. Like, here's the main villain, and now we have a string up to this guy that he talked to, who has a string to this guy who he talked to, and these 5 people are related. They're putting together the network of this latest Bond supervillain.
Yes, once again, Occam's razor. Look for the most logical explanation.
Simplest.
The simplest explanation.
Just simple.
Simplest explanation.
The simplest explanation is often the right one.
Yeah. All right.
Trump's not playing 4D chess. He's playing checkers while eating paste because he's a spy. All right. Thank you for watching this video and supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, so we'll try not to hit end before we get through this. That unfortunately happened on a recent video. So yes, if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe. We put out a new video every night at midnight. Leave a comment. I read them all, respond to many. And matter of fact, I'd like to thank some of the people that have left comments on some of our other videos.
Time to end the recording. Dink.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the first person I want to thank is IC9273. So IC9273 was on our live stream on Saturday, but their comments were being blocked on live stream. I don't know why. Your comment came through on the channel's comment section. I have no idea why you weren't able to leave a comment, but I apologize that happened to you. I'd like to give a shout out to Sandy Johnson, has been very consistent in the comments section, leaving lots of comments. Elizabeth Wingfield, Denise A, who
Denise A. Everybody knows
Denise A has this great alien emoji. I totally recognize Denise A's emoji. And then we're going to wrap it up with Lisa, mother of 2 rescues. So thank you all so much for your comments and supporting the channel. And today's secret card is...
Is it really a secret if everybody's expecting it?
Yes, because sometimes we end the video without the secret card. Today's secret card is the 6 of Cups. It's kind of look back to simpler times when people were kind and thoughtful. Of course, the 6 of Cups could also be... You remember, Donald, when you didn't have a lot of money and we were there for you to give you lots of money and support? Yeah, it's time to pay back.
Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care.
Take care. Bye.